He didn't shove her to the ground. He slapped her, open palm, right across the cheek. In front of 200 people, a burrito bowl, and a blinking security camera. It happened in the middle of Oak Ridge Mall's food court, the kind of place where nothing serious ever happens. Fluorescent lights, sticky tables, kids in sneakers laughing about nothing. Ava Linwood stood in line for frozen yogurt, second in line, jacket zipped up halfway, hand resting on her phone. She'd just finished track practice, her curls still damp, her breath still light. She hadn't even said a full sentence to Officer Darren Holt before he snapped. "You think I'm stupid?" he said loud enough for heads to turn. Ava blinked, confused. I'm sorry. That's your confession," he barked, and then the slap landed. Sharp, audible, the kind of sound that hushes a mall. Her friend Mariah froze, yogurt cup still in hand, mouth parted. The crowd phones raised instinctively. Some recorded. Most stared. And one man, just one, quietly whispered, "What the hell did I just see?" And Ava. She didn't scream, didn't collapse. She backed up slowly, hand rising to her face, breath caught halfway in her throat. And then she said it not to anyone in particular, but like it escaped her soul. "Dad." That one word, soft cracking, felt heavier than the slap. Across the court, a man in a bookstore hoodie dropped the stack of novels he'd been holding. His name was Damian Linwood, 44, bookstore owner by trade, but built like a man who'd known war. His eyes scanned the scene. 1 second, 2, then he moved. Not fast, not loud. He didn't run, he didn't scream. He walked, deliberate, quiet, each step heavier than the one before, like a storm refusing to announce itself. As he crossed the food court, Officer Holt puffed up his chest, gesturing toward Ava like she was a threat. His partner, silent but nodding, hovered by his side. And someone tried to say something. A woman, late 50s, worked at the pretzel stand. Mrs. Calhoun. "That girl didn't do anything," she said, voice trembling. "I saw her. She was just standing there." Officer Holt turned toward her. "You want to be next," he said, low and sharp. She hesitated. Her hands tightened around the pretzel tongs. Eyes darted between the crowd and Ava. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Slowly, she backed into the stall. Her lips pressed tight, ashamed, scared, but still watching. A second later, a teenage boy in a Lakers hoodie, one of the kids who'd been laughing earlier, muttered, "She probably did something. Cops don't hit for nothing." And like that, others nodded, mumbled, looked away. The crowd wasn't cruel, just conditioned. Conditioned to let injustice stand still until it collapses on someone else. But Damian didn't look away. He knelt beside Ava, voice low, hands steady. "You hurt?" She nodded barely, eyes glassy. "Good," he whispered. "You feel. That means they didn't break you." Then he stood, back straight, shoulders squared. "Turn your cameras on," he said to the crowd. "Calm, firm, record everything, because this doesn't get swept under some badge." Officer Holt snorted. "Sir, I suggest you step back." "No," Damian interrupted. "You don't suggest anything." His voice never rose. It didn't need to. It landed. "My name is Damian Linwood, former Master Sergeant, 82nd Airborne, now civil rights attorney, and you just assaulted my daughter." The crowd shifted. Something cracked in Holt's posture, maybe doubt, maybe fear. But still, he held his ground. Then a voice boomed overhead. "Attention food court shoppers, the following is a live recording." The mall speakers. Someone had hacked the PA system. The slap, the accusation, Ava's whisper, Holt's threat to Mrs. Calhoun, it played again. Everyone froze. That's when Ava's friend Mariah stepped forward. She didn't say anything, just held up her phone and nodded at Damian. She'd set the recording up earlier. She knew. And now, so did everyone else. Holt's face twisted. "You can't do this." Damian leaned in barely an inch from his face. "You think I can't watch me?" But then he paused. Something about Holt's tone, the way he flinched when the crowd shifted, triggered a memory. A flash, Fort Benning, 2004. A younger Damian, just a recruit, forced to do push-ups until his knuckles bled while a white sergeant sneered, "You people don't follow orders unless it hurts." That humiliation, that helplessness, that rage. He'd swallowed it once. Never again. He exhaled slowly, came back to the mall. He looked around. Phones were everywhere, but so were eyes, and shame. The boy in the Lakers hoodie stepped forward. I didn't know," he mumbled. No one responded, but he lowered his head. Even misses. Calhoun. She stepped from the pretzel stall, eyes wet, voice shaking. "I'm sorry, Ava," she whispered. She reached out but didn't touch, just offered a nod, a vow. Damian turned to the officers. "Give me your badge number. Now." Officer Holt hesitated, then reluctantly recited it. Damian didn't smile. He didn't gloat. He took Ava's hand, helped her to her feet, and walked out with her through the mall entrance. Police backup was already outside, but no one stopped him, because for the first time everyone had seen it. The truth didn't wear a uniform. It walked like a father. And this was just the beginning. They made it 10 steps past the mall doors before the sirens flared, not from behind, but ahead. 3 squad cars, lights flashing, no urgency in their approach, just presence, control, intimidation. Ava's hand instinctively gripped her father's jacket, but Damian didn't stop walking, didn't blink. From the passenger seat of the lead cruiser, an officer stepped out. Clean-cut, young, nervous name tag read Rodriguez. He held up a hand, not in command. In respect. "Mr. Linwood," he said, voice steady, "we're here to escort your daughter safely. That's all." Damian paused, scanned his face. No mask, just tension. Ava looked up at her father. "Is this safe?" Rodriguez nodded. "I have a sister her age. I swear it." Damian held the stare, then nodded once. They rode in silence. Ava's fingers still trembled against the car seat. Her cheek burned. Her throat itched with everything she hadn't said. The station was quiet. Too quiet. Inside, fluorescent lights hummed. The officer at the desk barely met their eyes until Damian said 4 words, "I want the footage." From the break room, Holt emerged. His sleeves were rolled up now. His face, different. Less smug, but not less dangerous. He didn't speak, just stood there, arms folded, watching Ava. Then a moment cracked open. Ava stepped forward. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She stood. Back straight. Face bruised. Voice like steel wrapped in silk. "You hit me," she said. "Not because I was a threat, but because I was easy." Holt didn't move. "I was quiet. Small. And you thought no one would care." He took a breath. His lips twitched, maybe to speak, maybe to deny, but she cut him off. "You didn't see a daughter. You saw a category, a file, a stereotype." Damian stepped beside her, silent. "And Holt." He laughed. Not loud, not mocking, but broken, like something cracked inside. "You think this is new?" he muttered, eyes darting. "You think I haven't seen worse walk free? You think any of this matters?" His voice rose jagged. "They spit on us. They film us. They bait us. And every time we're the monsters." His jaw clenched. "And maybe I am." The room fell silent. Even the officers nearby turned. One woman, young biracial, looked at Holt like he'd just taken off a mask. Ava stared at him. No fear, no hatred, just clarity. "Then say it," she said. "Say it loud enough for your own conscience to hear." But Holt didn't. Couldn't. He slumped into a chair, head in his hands. It was over, but not done. Days passed, then a press conference. Crowds gathered in front of City Hall. TV vans, hashtags. Protest signs, "I am Ava. Protect, not punish." Damian took the podium. No suit, no podium voice. Just a man tired of burying dignity under policy. "My daughter was hit," he said. "Not just by a man, but by a system that tells certain men they're untouchable." He turned to Ava, who stood beside him, and then handed her the mic. Ava stepped up. No makeup, track hoodie. That same scar, still faint, still there. She didn't read from paper. She remembered. Every night since that slap, she said, "I've had to decide if I want to be scared or useful." She looked into the cameras. "And I choose this, to be seen, to be loud, to be more than what they tried to make me." Then the final twist, her voice softened. "And to Officer Holt, I don't forgive what you did, but I forgive the part of you that thought it was okay, because carrying your hate would be giving you power." The crowd didn't erupt. Not yet. They absorbed it, because that's what truth does. In the aftermath, Holt was charged not just for assault, but for a pattern. 2 other teens stepped forward. One whistleblower, an older officer named Keller, turned over audio files. The system flinched, and for once, didn't look away. Ava was asked to join the city's Youth Police Advisory Board. She didn't say yes right away. "I'm not here to fix what I didn't break," she said to her dad. He smiled. "No, but you'll build what comes next." She nodded, not because she was ready, but because she had to be. And then, one night, as Damian closed the bookstore for the evening, someone knocked. Mrs. Calhoun, from the pretzel stall. She held a small wrapped box. "It's just cinnamon sugar, but it's also an apology." Damian took it. "You don't owe us." I stayed silent, she said, eyes misty. "But next time, I won't." She turned and walked off, slow, but with purpose. Back in her room, Ava looked at the mirror. The scar on her cheek had almost faded, but she didn't want it to disappear completely, because it reminded her she mattered enough to fight for. The news still played. Some defended Holt, some attacked Ava, some just speculated. That's how it always goes. But the question remains, who are you in that food court? The one holding the phone, the one staying silent, the one who slaps, or the one who stands? You tell me, who was right, who was wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in justice, share and subscribe, because someone out there is watching, and next time it might be their story.